All right, well, welcome back to another review video. Today we're at Rides in Motion, their Phoenix location. Today we're looking at the Xyber by Segway. Now, as you can tell, immediately, this bike is ridiculous. Like normal, we're gonna be going through the specs. We'll take it for a test ride. We'll talk to you from a shop owner standpoint, how this bike has been moving in our stores, and also what kind of service this bike needs and how easy is it to get it serviced. So yeah, let's jump right into it.
All right, so first up, let's go over the battery range of this bike. You can do single battery or dual battery. With a single battery, it goes up to about 56 miles. The dual battery setup goes to 112 miles. Now, depending on which way you go, will increase the weight pretty drastically. We got a front and rear headlight on this bike as well. It has pedals, which is kind of a joke. The motor puts out a 3,000 watt peak with a 120 Newton meter on a single battery and 6,000 watt peak and 175 Newton meter with dual batteries. We got pretty standard hydraulic brakes, dual piston front and rear, 110 millimeter front suspension and 100 millimeter mid suspension, which is pretty nice and floaty. The bike is single speed with this much power. You don't need gears. On the handlebars, we got our light button, horn, and a bell, as well as this kind of weird dial which increases your levels of assist. You got 12 of them. If you go left or right, it changes you through a couple different screens, so you can see your music, your app if it's connected. Then on the right hand side, we have another dial that changes your riding mode and then your power button. So within each mode, you technically have 12 levels of assist. You have park mode, sport mode, and race mode. Lastly, before we go ride, we got to put in our passcode that's mandatory, so you just put that in real quick.
All right, so because this thing weighs 135 pounds and goes 35 miles an hour, put a helmet on. Seemed like the smart thing to do. All right, well, it's got power for sure. This thing's got 3 different modes. We got sport, eco, and race, and it's got some torque. Also, the suspension's pretty nice. It's got some good front suspension as well, and I think this FedEx guy is pulling in. You trying to pull in right here? It rides amazing. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The weight kind of gets dissipated by the power it has. I pretty much put it in race mode the whole time. Got it up to 35 miles an hour, which is way too fast. The bike feels like a motorcycle. I mean, I don't know why this thing has pedals on it, other than to just get it through some laws, basically. The suspension, the float, is fantastic as well. I could see this being okay for off-roading, but I wouldn't do anything outside of like a BDR trail. The geometry, the way I fit on this, you know, I'm 6'1", and it feels really nice. I mean, you got some leg room, you got some distance that you can kind of move up and down the seat. The layout of the control panel is really nice. The only thing that I don't really enjoy about these is the dial that they use. Especially if you're riding on bumpy roads or you're somewhere that's not really smooth. Sometimes that dial can mess you up, or you can click it left to right, and really that's kind of the biggest downside. The lights themselves are really bright and they seem to work really well. The brakes are fine. But again, this is the kind of bike that you want to ride if you're like commuting. This is just like a toy, really. I mean, it's basically a dirt bike. I mean, overall, I really enjoyed the way that it rides. In terms of ride quality, I'm probably gonna give this like an 8.5 out of 10. It was pretty phenomenal. All right, so at this moment in time, this bike is currently $28.99, dropped down from $32.99. I mean, for all the bike that you're getting, it's quite a good price. The bike also comes with a lot of features inside of the Segway app.
All right, so looking at the app here, we pretty much have a pretty clean layout of what the Xyber is and all of its extra features. My favorite part about this is the tracking. It'll basically always track it wherever you are as long as the bike is charged. We also have an airlock system, so the bike can be opened just by your phone, and then there's a ton of customization features as well you can mess around with.
But overall, not a terrible price.
All right, well, talking about the serviceability of the Segways in general. So very complex bikes, a lot of electronics, a lot of technology built into it, which is great. We love it, but it also is a double-sided sword. So what is great when you're using it, it can be pretty frustrating when it's not working when it comes to firmware updates and any sort of service as a traditional bike. So far we're experienced with Segway Xybers. Particularly, we sold over 15 of these bikes over the last 6 months. They're great bikes, but we had one big issue with one of them, and the troubleshooting was a bit painful. It took us about 5 different components to get to the root cause of this. So we had to replace wiring harness, VCU, controller, and the last issue was a rear wheel, which is very unexpected. Now, on the bright side of all that, the team that support bicycle shops and dealers on the service of the bikes is on point. The resources are great. Everything is very streamlined. There is troubleshooting trees and guides to how to properly fix this. So, unlikely to fail, but when it does, it's good to always take it to a dealer. Do not try to customize or change these bikes as you would do with some other brands. These are very specific to what they are, and they don't like to be tampered with. So yeah, you can always come here to Rides and Motion Phoenix. We're right on 1313 East Northern Avenue, between this Highway 17 and the 51. You can come test ride all our toys here, from the Segways, Utopias, Amas, you name it, we have it here. Scooters or Mac Foxes, anything we have, you're welcome to stop by, take a look and test ride them.
All right, so overall, I'm pretty happy with this bike. It's $2,800. You're getting a lot of bike for that amount of money. Great battery life, great support from a decent company as well. The only thing I don't like about this bike are 2 things: the weight and the locking system of the bike. It makes noises. You got to put the password in. The dial on the thing is kind of annoying. But if you can get over that easily, or if this is your first bike, it won't make a difference to you. But yeah, I would definitely recommend this bike for anybody who's commuting a lot and wants something fast. We're going to be doing some more videos on some cool bikes, so make sure you stick around and see those coming soon. Thanks.